Cool. What's up, folks? I haven't uploaded a video or anything like that in a long ass time. Um, but people keep subscribing to the channel, so I thought I would come back and share some thoughts on NFTs as one of the people who issued thousands of NFTs many years ago, long before anyone cared at all about Twitter profile picture of a monkey with rainbow teeth and a funny hat. So, also I saw I can live stream now, which I thought I needed more subscribers to do, but apparently not. So we'll try it out. So NFTs, what are they? Why are they important? Are they cool? I think a lot of people don't really understand what's cool about NFTs, and it isn't art. The art stuff is interesting, but it's kind of like how, let me fix my camera. It's kind of like how people would sell the Brooklyn Bridge to someone or whatever, right? Like at that time, you could just draw up some contract and you could just hand someone a deed or whatever to something you didn't even own. And you could sell it to somebody. And NFTs are kind of like that deed or like that contract. What NFTs are, it's like a digital contract that could represent anything. And it's unique. That's what the non-fungible, if you don't understand what non-fungible means, that's what the non-fungible means. It's unique in some way. It also means it can't really be mixed up with other instances of that same thing. So for like Bored Apes, all the monkeys are different, right? So no two of them are the same. So you could never get yours confused with someone else's or whatever. Versus Bitcoin. Bitcoin is a fungible token. Well, it's not necessarily a token, but it's fungible. You can mix your Bitcoin with someone else's, and then you can't really tell who's whose. Just kind of a side note there. Bitcoin, it's fungible in that you don't really even own. There's no such thing as a Bitcoin that you own. You just have the right to spend the Bitcoin, because of your private key enabling you to sign a transaction that's valid to spend that Bitcoin. So NFTs are kind of similar in that way, but all NFTs are theoretically different, whereas all Bitcoin are exactly the same. So they're fungible and NFTs are non-fungible. So anyway, why do I say NFTs like art isn't that important? It's a really simple use case of an NFT. You can represent some ownership, like that deed of the Brooklyn Bridge or whatever, of some piece of artwork, and thereby making that piece of artwork scarce in some way, right? Of course, you can right-click save it and all that stuff, but right-click saving someone's art doesn't necessarily benefit the artist or anything like that, which is fine. I think people should, if they want to right-click save an NFT, I don't think anyone who's involved in NFTs actually cares about that. But it's for people who are interested in like the digital version of the fine art world or whatever. NFTs exist, right? And it's a way for digital artists to make money. Cool, whatever. I don't know how long that will last. Yeah, full disclosure, I've purchased some NFTs. I've sold some NFTs. I've not created any NFTs of my own artwork or anything like that, but we can get more into that. And then there's the other side of NFTs, which a lot of people don't like NFTs because of the environmental issues involving NFTs. I think that environmental issue is real, but it's just part of a larger problem that I think NFTs are like a pretty small part of. So cryptocurrency has a pretty substantial energy footprint. I think Bitcoin is like 0.5% of all energy use. And so Ethereum is less than that, right? Ethereum is where most NFTs are. And then NFTs are like a small piece of the Ethereum network in terms of the overall traffic on the network, right? So I don't know exactly what NFTs energy footprint is, but it's a small piece of less than 0.5%, I would guess. There's a lot of other things that have similar energy footprints that we in the first world use, things like YouTube, Amazon, Spotify, whatever. And I'm not saying that NFTs are any better or worse than those things. but that's just kind of the reality of accessing things in the first world, is that they use a lot of energy. And if you live in the first world, you're very privileged to be able to access and interact with those things. But are NFTs necessarily contributing in a major way to that problem? I don't necessarily think so. In a weird way, maybe it will help solve it because of the kind of uselessness of it, people are more interested in like, how can we lower our overall energy footprint? It's a good conversation to have. I don't think anyone's like, even if you don't think climate change is real, like it's still probably not great to use a lot of energy. The less energy you can use, the better, or the more efficiently you can use energy. The cryptocurrency, by the way, uses energy pretty efficiently in that you can utilize energy very close to where it's generated versus you hear about oil pipelines and things like that. That's very inefficient use of energy, but you can't use oil next to where it comes out of the ground for your car to heat your home or whatever, because your home exists somewhere far away from that oil field. Versus Bitcoin or Ethereum, you could set up a mine right next to the oil field, and so you don't have any inefficiencies from transporting that energy, which is interesting. Some people would say cryptocurrency is like tokenized energy, tokenized electricity, which I think is interesting to think about. Anyway, so NFTs, the art stuff is not that important, and what is coming with NFTs in the future, I think, is way more important, which is going back to the contract idea of a deed for the Brooklyn Bridge. That's not very interesting, and obviously it's a scam. But contracts in general are very useful, right? We spent a lot of energy, resources, people creating courts, lawyers, laws, governments to enforce contracts. NFTs can do the same thing, but without the people, without the lawyers, without the governments. I think that can be very useful for a lot of things. Is it useful for like the average everyday person? I don't necessarily think so. But from a financial standpoint, and if you live in the first world, particularly America, I think you should understand that a financially driven economy is what enables your lifestyle, regardless of whether or not you interact with stocks or Wall Street or anything like that. The fact that America is built on that financialized economy is what enables Americans to do everything they do. So currently, right? So anyway, NFTs can do a lot for that type of ecosystem in terms of democratizing it, in terms of enabling people outside of America and enabling people who don't work on Wall Street and enabling people who don't have millions and billions of dollars to kind of participate in the same, some would say degenerate things that Wall Street bankers do. Is that a good thing or a bad thing? I don't know. Probably in the long run, it's a good thing, because if what Wall Street does is a bad thing, democratizing it is probably good. At the worst case scenario, it will like take away power, centralized power. So I think that's good. But anyway, I think a lot of people will make a lot of money dealing with NFTs in the non-art sense by setting up contracts for things like borrowing, lending, cryptocurrency, providing liquidity on exchanges, doing DeFi stuff. Uniswap V2 uses a NFT system to represent your liquidity positions. Maybe I'll make a video on that if you're watching this and you understand what that is. And there's a project on Phantom coming that uses NFTs to represent some sort of liquidity position. I don't fully understand it yet, but the project hasn't even been announced yet fully. So anyway, I think NFTs, keep in mind they can represent anything. I think the art stuff is just the beginning. I think any kind of digital contract could be represented as an NFT, and I think that could be a good thing. The energy usage is bad, but that's not unique to NFTs. Yeah, that's my lukewarm take on NFTs. Anyway, if you're still watching this part in the video, which is probably 1% of the 5 people who will watch this video. Right now, I'm not really working on much. Just been working on music. If you remember my old videos, the outro music was some music I made. In that time, I think I've gotten a little bit better at making music. But anyway, I'm looking for more projects to work on. A lot of people have emailed me over the past couple of years asking for my advice or whatever on their project. I'm always happy to do that. So you can just hit me up, shoot me an email. I think my contact info is on the channel somewhere. But beyond that, if you're working on some kind of bigger project and you're looking for someone who does Solidity development or web development in the crypto space, or need a product manager or something like that, definitely hit me up. Otherwise, I think I might start making more videos or going live more often. I just don't necessarily know what to talk about, but I've been getting a lot more interested in the space since everyone's gotten a lot angrier over the past year. And I think that's quite interesting, and there's a lot of interesting discussions happening. So yeah, so I think I'll wrap it up there. Yeah, hit me up. Let me know what you want me to talk about. Let me know what you find interesting, and let me know what you're working on. Later.